It's important for your dog to have lots of different types of toys to play with. We're going to show you a couple of different types. One is a squeaky toy. Now this is a squeaky toy that has a little sheepskin coating on it, and for really tough chewers you might want to monitor them because you don't want to have them, number one, tear up the toy and ingest pieces of it, and you especially don't want to give a dog who's going to be a harsh chewer anything with a squeaky toy because they can actually swallow the small piece inside. This would be good for a really young puppy though. Right? And it's not a bad idea for you to actually bring out the toy and play with the dog with the toy because that way you are the source of all things fun. You can also, instead of, you know, like with a child, how they get bored of their toys really quickly, with a dog it's the same thing. If you give your dog 20 toys and leave them strewn around the house all the time.
They're going to go looking for the shoe.
Yes, exactly, because your shoe is so much more exciting. So you want to just rotate their toys, give them 3 or 4 toys, that's okay. Then take one back or take 2 back and give them something different. Keep them interested.
Yeah. And if you have a dog that isn't interested in toys or that you think isn't interested in toys, the best way to get him interested in a toy, let's say I come home from the store and I have this toy. As soon as you tell him he can't have it, that's what he's going to want.
Exactly, that's true.
Right.
Dogs are like kids.
So
that
as soon
way.
as he comes up and he wants to see it, you turn your back. Oh no, you can't see it. Oh no, it's mine. And you keep playing with it. Oh no, it's mine, because he's going to come around the other side. And then he's going to, and oh. And then you open the drawer and you put it in the drawer and you turn around and walk away like, what toy? I never saw a toy. And you do that a couple times a day for a week, and that dog, you pull that toy out and you drop it on the ground, and the first thing that dog is going to want, because you've been telling him for a week, no, you can't have it. Of course, that's the first thing he's going to go for.
That's very true. So if your dog is one of those that you think just doesn't like toys, really try that out because it totally works. Another type of toy that's fun is a tug toy. Now, tug toys come in lots of different colors and different lengths and different textures. You might have heard that it's not a good idea to play tug with your dog because, oh, it'll make them aggressive and so forth. It's not true. However, tug should have rules to it. The rules are you bring out the tug toy, you initiate the game because you're the leader and all good things come from you. You encourage your dog to get into the game, your dog starts tugging, then you freeze and you say, leave it. And if you've trained to leave it well enough, your dog will actually drop the toy and may even step back once and sit. Once the dog leaves it, you can say, good dog. And the dog's reward for leaving it is that you say, take it, and you start playing the game again.
And you have to make sure that when you're playing tug and you say leave it, that there's a big change in your facial expressions and your body movement. If you're playing tug with him and you're going, yay, what a good boy, yay, what a good boy, and then you want to stop the game and you say leave it, your face goes blank, you stop moving, but even though our mouth is saying leave it, but our body is tugging on the toy, as far as the dog is concerned, we're still playing tug of war. So I have to make sure that not only do I say leave it, that I also freeze my body and make my face convey to him, it's really not a good idea to continue with this. And most often, they're going to drop the toy.
Right. There's a couple different types of tug toys. You've got these types. You've got the ones that are made entirely of rope, and what you can see has happened with this one is that the dogs have actually started to shred the ropes. For that reason, while it's a great tug toy while you're there to play with them, I wouldn't leave this type of toy alone with your dog. They can ingest the string, and there can be problems from that.
Right. Now, another rule for tug of war, and a very important rule, is because we covered that you start the game and you stop the game, but if during the game of tug of war, like let's say your dog's mouth is slipping and he lets go to re-grab, if he ever accidentally touches your hand, the game is over again, you're going to take your toy and go home. He is never ever to touch your skin, and yes, he can distinguish between your hand and the toy.
Absolutely. Other toys that are great for your dog, and we're just going to show you a couple of different things here. We have things that involve balls, we have tennis balls, and be careful about using the generic tennis balls. I can tell you that I have a shepherd who is absolutely ball obsessed. A lot of shepherds are actually.
Apparently.
Yes, and it's a beautiful thing because we can play lots of games that can do some training along with them. But be careful because if your dog chews incessantly on the tennis ball, the felt actually has something in it that will make your dog's teeth grind down. And I learned that the hard way, so I don't want you to.
That's true with a lot of toys, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So you really have to make sure if you have a really compulsive chewer that you do things that aren't going to damage your dog's teeth. We do have a toy here that's similar to the Have-A-Ball and the Molecule Ball, and it's basically an environmental enrichment toy. It's called a Buster Cube, and it's just a square of plastic, and it has a hole in the middle that you can change the size of the hole, and you just put his kibble in there, and it has to be dry kibble, don't soak it first, for obvious messy reasons. You're going to put the kibble in here and shake it around to make sure it gets in every nook and cranny. You're going to put it on the ground. The dog is going to start rolling it with his nose, and the food is going to fall out.
Right.
Right, so if you have a latchkey dog and you're going to be leaving in the morning and the dog is going to be there all day, what you do is you put the dog's breakfast in here, and that's how he gets his breakfast, and it's going to tire him out, because we all know a tired dog is a not destructive dog.
Right, and this one actually has 4 chambers inside it, so that it really is a little bit more difficult than the other food toys to get stuff out of. Just be careful if you've got expensive furniture or anything else that's fragile, because this is pretty hard. I have a
Yes.
friend whose pit bull loves to take this and ram it into the wall, thinks it's the funniest thing in the world.
Yes.
So just be careful and choose your toys appropriately.